Hi everyone, Azriel Knight here, and today I'm giving you my first impressions on Fujicolor Pro 400H. A couple of weeks ago, I was introduced to Fujifilm Acros 100 black and white film, and I was really impressed with the results. And if you want to see the full vlog on that, I'll leave a link at the end of the video. Fujicolor Pro 400H is a high-speed, fine-grained, daylight balanced film with a proprietary fourth color layer. My previous experience with color Fujifilm has mostly been Superia and expired films that I've just happened upon. When I do shoot fresh color film, it's mostly been Kodak Ektar 100 or the occasional Kodak Gold. So this is my first real crack at a high-speed professional color film. To test this film, I loaded it into my Canon AE1 and headed off to Fort Steele, British Columbia. Fort Steele was a gold rush boomtown founded in 1864. Originally named Galbraith's Ferry, it was renamed Fort Steele in 1888 after Sam Steele of the Northwest Mounted Police. This real-life Dudley Do-Right earned his reputation after clearing charges against local First Nations of murder accusations by a local settler. After the charges dropped, they named the town after him. In the 1890s, the Canadian Pacific Railway showed interest in setting up a station. Everything would have gone as planned if it weren't for Colonel James Baker, a member of the British Columbia legislature. He bribed and blackmailed other members of the legislature to bypass Fort Steele and bring the railway to his logging camp. And the last nail in the coffin happened when the approval for the railway got lost in the mail. It wasn't until the 1960s, long after the town was abandoned, that BC Parliament began preserving what was left, and in 1969 declared it a historical site. Much was rebuilt based on photos, and some of the original structures still remain in their decayed state. It's beautiful here, and besides seeing tourists everywhere, it's easy to feel as though you've traveled back in time. I developed my film with a C41 powder kit by Argentix.ca, and at $30 Canadian, it is the cheapest I have found in the country. And here are the highlights from my day in Fort Steele. The one thing I was most interested in is how it would handle red, and from this shot, I was pretty happy. You might notice some haze in the background. That's because there's about 200 forest fires going on in the province at the moment. It literally smelled like a campfire for hundreds of kilometers. Taking a look at these two shots here, one was taken with my DSLR, my 5D Mark II, and the other is the Fujicolor Pro. If you can't tell right away which one it is, then the Fujicolor Pro has obviously done a good job. You might notice by now that there are some blemishes on my negatives, and that's because I use tap water and I've got really hard water. However, I don't like editing my photos because I want you to see what I get from a straight scan. So there's no editing in Lightroom, no editing in Photoshop. The only thing I do is balance out the levels and do a minor color correction pre-scan. I'm also using a 9-year-old Epson V500, so if you have anything better than that, then you're probably going to get even better results than I did. You're not gonna find rich, saturated color here. It's not necessarily a problem though, if that's not what you're looking for. It's all about the right tool for the right job. I was also expecting it because it is a higher speed film. This is one of my last frames right here and probably my favorite because trains. And for a 400 speed film, the grain is fine. I didn't really notice any grain unless I was trying to bump up the shadow detail. So would I shoot with Fujicolor Pro 400H again? Absolutely. Now I don't shoot a lot of color, and when I do, I shoot at 400 ISO, even less. But this is going to be my go-to film for those parameters. Color, 400 speed. Definitely going to be the 400H from now on. The images are bright, the colors are accurate, it's got a lot of depth to it. That fourth color layer, I definitely noticed a difference. And yeah, I mean, Kodak Gold, 400H, it's sort of a no contest, but there you have it. Before I go, I want to show you this print now available on my Etsy page. It's probably one of the best darkroom prints I've ever made, and this is a one and done first printing that's been hanging in my home for a couple of years now. I've struggled letting this one go, but that must mean it's something special, and if you don't see it on the page, it's already sold. If you'd like to support me and the channel, please consider buying one of my prints. That's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay classic.